Alright, so we're at the KEANUVERSE once again, and you may notice the surroundings are different just for this one review, because Big Out There Radio is using my kitchen to play his little vroom vroom racing game. So I have to record in here. I'm sitting on a TV, an old style TV that is my chair right now. And we're going to talk about the 1986 television film starring Keanu Reeves entitled Brotherhood of Justice. And the poster or whatever they show, the image they show on Tubi is really misleading. I thought they made it look like an action film starring Keanu Reeves and Kiefer Sutherland. It's not what it is at all. It's one of those after-school special TV movies. It's an hour and a half long. You can tell it's made for TV because they take cuts for commercial breaks. You know, it fades to black or whatever. It's got some promising young stars in here. You have Keanu Reeves, Kiefer Sutherland, the guy who played one of the Socs in The Outsiders, Billy Zane. You got Danny Nucci, who are going to be in Titanic. You have Lori Loughlin. But anyway, and it's about a group of high school seniors who, after having a speech delivered to the senior class about how the crimes and corruptions and bad stuff going on, there needs to be someone to stop it, they put together a team to do just that. But along the way, it gets skewed into something else. And by the end of the film, it's completely opposite of what they want to do. They become basically what they were trying to stop. And that's all Billy Zane's fault, because he becomes the sort of anti-character that leads the others around. First and foremost, the elephant in the room, Lori Loughlin. Yeah, it's going to be touchy to talk about her. And especially when you're watching this movie, it's like an after-school special thing. They're trying to teach a lesson. There's a scene where she mentions getting into college. And I went, yeah, that's not holding up very well. And then there's a scene where she is preaching about good morals. And again, I went, yeah. The scene that really got me, though, was a scene. It starts in the morning when Derek, that's Keanu's character in this, goes to get his little brother up, right? And he's all acting all weird. He's just laying there, and he's all out of it. He noticed something going on. And after school, he's in the shower. He's like, well, why are you taking a shower at 3 o'clock in the afternoon? And I'm like, I take showers at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. What's wrong with that? But he goes into his brother's room, and he finds a little bag of cocaine. That's what it was in the scene where he confronts him. Who gave it to you? Where'd you get it? That whole fantastic scene. And, you get, despite the fact that this poster features Keanu Reeves and Kiefer Sutherland is not really a major character. He shows up within the film, and he is a part of the quote-unquote climax. It's not really a climax. But eventually it goes too far. One of the members, Scotty, spelled with an I-E, not a Y like myself, he decides he wants to be out, right? So he leaves. And then the other guys, they go nuts. There's this, one of the guys' bike is stolen, the motorcycle is stolen, and they think it's a Mexican. So they go into Mexican territory, and they get verbally assaulted by these. Oh, you think because you look like us, you dress like us, it has to be one of us, right? Sorry for doing the Mexican accent, but then they mess up the two cars. Two of the Mexicans' cars. The next day you see it, and you can tell that Scotty and Derek had nothing to do with it, because they're like, look what they did to the Mexicans' cars, man. So that's when Scotty's like, I'm out. And then, so Derek goes to confront them, and by this point, Billy Zane has taken over as the leader of this group by now. They listen to him, he starts to tell them, no, don't do it, and they reveal that they put a pipe bomb, not CM Punk, put a pipe bomb in attached to Victor's car. That's Kiefer Sutherland's character. And he goes, and he stops him from blowing up. He says to call the cops. And then you see the very end of this film actually ends with Derek going into the police station, and the credits come up, and you're like, that's how it's going to end? But then in the credits, they show each of them getting arrested, including Scotty and Derek. Now, Derek, I'm assuming, is going to get off on a lighter sentence. Like, he'll get like a lighter sentence. Like, they'll get a longer time, but his will be shorter because he outed them. But Scotty walked away. He walked away because he didn't want to end up in jail, but he still went to jail. Why out him? I mean, I can see maybe Derek didn't out him, but the others did. If we're going down, he's going down too, that sort of thing. Maybe. But Scotty wanted out. You should have just left him out of it. I'm like, no, he wanted out. That's not fair. And, yeah, it really, like, Lori Loughlin, I don't want to talk about her again, but she disappears partway through the film. After her and Derek break up, she's, like, gone. Even when you go back to Kiefer Sutherland, there's a different waitress there. She's not even there. I don't know. She just disappears halfway through the film. To be honest, I missed bits and pieces because I was being talked to, and I had to help him set up his little wheel thingy. So, I missed a little bit. But, from what I saw, this is a pretty decent film. It feels like something they would show us in school, honestly. I'm surprised I'd never actually seen this before. But and it was very early in Keanu's career. This was 1986. This was before Bill and Ted and all that. And so, he still has a hint of his Canadian accent a little bit. But he does a phenomenal job, I think, in this. You watch this and you go, the potential that he has, you can tell that it in his later films, you can tell he has potential. And he does a great job. I also like Billy Zane and by the way, their meeting place is a carousel because it's like Billy Zane's uncle's carousel or something. Okay. But, he says no guns, no weapons, no knives after there's a thing where they stab. By the way, their calling card is leaving a handprint. And they're constantly wondering who these people are. Why not go to the fingerprint, the handprint, and get the prints? Now, I don't know if they're wearing gloves or anything, but it seems like a regular handprint. They could be wearing gloves. I don't know, but I'm just saying. They even go to the principal, and this is where I kind of yelled at the guy. He's like, things are getting done. It's what I wanted. I'm not gonna stop him until he goes too far. I'm like, man, you stupid son of a bitch. If it goes too far and someone dies, you're liable for that. And it almost went that far. It started getting too far when the Mexicans' cars were attacked. That's when he, started stationing security guards and stuff at the school. But that's the school where there's no other protection anywhere else. I'm just saying, this movie was pretty good. It's a TV movie, so I really shouldn't give it a rating, but I'm gonna give it a strong 7 out of 10. I enjoyed it. It's a little clunky. It was in full screen, so not very good quality, but it's a decent watch. I do recommend it if you like those sort of after-school special type movies. It's actually pretty good. So what are your thoughts on Brotherhood of Justice? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I've been Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.